My sewing group is called Carol's Sewing Corner, and it's on Facebook. So if you go out on Facebook and search Carol's Sewing Corner, you'll see my group and put in an invite, and I'll ask you to come on in. Come on in and join. So, let me just tell you guys a little bit about the serger that I have. I have a Serger Professional 5. I want to say Pro Finish, but not the Pro Finish. I had the Serger Pro Finish like twice, and I burned both of those machines out and had to throw them in the garbage. I couldn't even give them away. They were garbage worthy when I got done beating the crap out of them. All right, let me show you my machine. Okay, I have a Serger Professional Finish 5. The Pro Finish serger is this one is a 5-cone serger, and this also doubles as a cover stitch machine. It does double thread and triple thread. So my machine does cover stitch, and it also does serging. It was a little bit pricey because it does both functions, but I've learned over the years, this machine is about 6 years old. I've learned over the years that in addition to is a little bit better, because every time I want to use cover stitch mode, I got to take the threads out. I got to change. I got to flip switches and do all kind of crazy stuff just to get serger, to get cover stitch to happen. So I end up using my sewing machine and twin needle sometimes on my knits. But when I'm in the non-lazy mood, I'll go ahead and switch it around and do what I need. You can't thread for, you still can't thread. Oh, you can't still, you have a cover stitch combo as well. Getting the chain stitch and everything, what you have to do is, when you have these kind of machines, you have to get yourself in the mindset that it's not hard to do, because when I do a cover stitch, I only have to use 2 threads, sometimes 3. So it's limiting how many threads that go through the machine. It's not all 5 of them at the same time. So that's where my mind comes at ease. All right, so when I'm ready to do my tie off, now let me tell you what some of you guys are probably doing before you're tying off. You may be tying off up here from the new color to the old color. And I have the new color is white. The old color, you can see that was here, is black. What I'm knowing that you guys are probably doing is when you do a tie off, after you tie off all your threads, you're running your machine through and you're pulling your tail as you go. And then as you notice, some threads pop and it's not threaded. Is that correct? What's happening? You're tying off, and then you're running your machine, and you're pulling your little thread so it doesn't get caught. You're pulling your tail. Then all of a sudden, something goes wrong, and it's not threaded. Give me some hearts if that's the problem that you're having with tie-offs. Okay? If that's the problem that you're having tie-offs, what your issue is when you run the machine and you put the power on the pedal and you start running the machine, what happens is your tie knots travel through your machine. Upper looper, lower looper, no problems at all. The problem comes with your needles. Whether you have 1 needle in or whether you have 2 needles in, depending on the size needle you have, that tie-off knot is never going to be big enough to fit through this needle. So when it gets here, pop, it pops, and now your thread is broken here at the needle, and the tie-off does not work. Okay? So that is the problem with tie-offs. This is what I discovered working in a professional sewing shop. We had some pro sergers all set up, and we had people doing tie-offs or trying to do tie-offs, and every time they got ready to get down in the nitty-gritty and start working, the machine was unthreaded, and they were calling me to thread the serger. So I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Because I kept having to come over and help thread the serger. So I was noticing that they were tying off, running the machine, and the needle was getting caught. the knot was getting caught right trying to go through the eye of the needle. Sometimes you get lucky and it goes through there and it's wonderful, but 8 times out of 10 it's going to pop and you're going to have to rethread the machine. So here's what you need to do. First of all, I'm going to show you guys how I tie off. Okay, let me bring the light over here. These two I have tied already, which are my loopers, upper looper and lower looper. And here's my needle thread. I'm going to tie this one off. Let me see. I'm going to try and put the camera here so you guys can see. So hold on. How about if I turn the serger? That may work. All right. I got my ooh, this is, where's the, there we go. All right. Okay. I got my thread here. And then I got my black thread, which is hanging right here. You guys can see my finger. I'm going to join them together and then I will hold it up so you guys can see. Because I can't hold the phone and tie at the same time. I thought I could, but I can't. And I'm going to get a close-up on the needle for the tie. A close-up on the knot. All right. Here you can see where I've tied the two colors together. That's a good focus picture. See my black and whites tied together? Then I got the tail from when I tied them both together. So what I do is I put the colors together and then I just tie one little knot around my fingers and then I pull the knot. So you can see the two colors tied here together. All right. Then I clip. All right. I'm going to clip it. Then I'm going to show you guys my clip. And when you clip the knot or you clip the tail off, get as close to the knot as possible. I'm clipping my other ones too, so while I'm talking. All right. Here's my knot clipped, but it's still tied. I'm waiting for it to come into focus here. Okay? That knot, although looks super duper teeny weeny eeny beeny small, it does not fit through the eye of the needle. So when you run your serger, this is going to get caught right before the eye of the needle, and the tension and the pressure from the serger is just going to pull it, pop, and now your needles are going to be unthreaded and they're going to get tangled with your looper threads, and you're going to have to rethread your serger. So here's what you do. After you get everything all tied off, I got my little 3 threads tied off because I'm not using 4. I'm just using 3. Got them all tied off. Release your presser foot because that takes the tension off. And then what I do is my old tail. Let me fix the phone so you guys can watch. Sorry about my hand there. Let me see. Does that help? Yeah, I'll turn that back on. Okay. Then I take my tail and I just pull it. Okay, now I just pulled it. All right. Now I have a few threads here. More than 3 because I know I have 3, so something's an extra. So guess what I do? I just tug at the ones until I find where that extra one is. And then eventually it comes out on its own. Oh, I see it. There we go. I have 1 loose thread. I just got rid of that. Now I have my 3 cones. These are my 3 threads here. Everybody see that? 3 threads. I pull one at a time, but I pull them in the order it's supposed to be serged. I pull my upper looper first. And I know it's my upper looper because the thread is moving. So I'll go ahead and I just pull it. Now I see my new color. I see my white. Everybody see that white there? That one's done. And then I just clip it. Then I grab my lower looper. Is that my lower looper? Yes, it is. Everybody see them colors changing there? Then that just goes right through. Upper looper and lower looper are usually pretty smooth. My machine Sometimes we have a little boo-boo on mine because this machine's been through hell and high water. So I know on your machine it goes nice and smooth. On my machine, sometimes it don't go so smooth. So please disregard my machine. I know your machine probably works, but I know the tricks to get mine to work. Hold on, I need my tweezers. These are your friend. All right, hold on. Let me get mine together. I have to get mine through the little hole. All right, now I'm back on the right track. I have to do that with my machine. That's one of my personality quirks on my Serger. All right, here's my upper looper. Because you can see here, my knot, I just pulled it through. I got the white thread and the black thread. Pulled that one through with my hands. Now I'm on my needle. I'm pulling my needle through. Now, you can see here on my needle. See the knot right there? That's where it's breaking when you're making your machine go. Just cut it and thread your needles. Whether you have one needle or two needles, take the time, clip off the knot, bring it through, and thread it. Get that black one out of there. Let's put the white one in. I put it under my presser foot. I grab them all, bring them all through. Give it a whirl. It's working. Press your foot down. I'm ready to serge. Pull, when you tie off, release the tension. Pull each thread through with your fingers. Pull your upper looper and your lower looper through together because they'll come through smoothly. Not like my machine. And then when you pull your needle threads, stop at the eye of the needle, cut the knot off, and thread the needles. Because this in the order is the last thing to be threaded. Every time you do this, you won't have a problem with your serger being threaded. And what I did was way faster than rethreading your serger 55,000 times, because we all know if your threader doesn't like the way if your serger doesn't like the way you threaded it, it's not gonna act right. It's just not gonna act right. You can curse it out, you can do whatever. It's just not gonna act right. So pull your looper threads through together after you tie them off. Pull your needle threads through. When it gets to the eye of the needle, snip the bottom thread, snip the top thread, get your tweezers out and thread your needles, and you're done. Saves tons of time, works every time. I don't know about you guys, but one thing I don't have time for is threading the serger. I have way too much stuff I need to sew for myself. All right. You guys have a good Sunday evening. I'm about to get to sewing. I haven't had any therapy sewing in quite a while, and I'm ready to do that. Guys, have a good one. Sew along top. I'm going to get started on that. Have a good one, ladies. Bye.